Okay, so iOS
Are you
26. Yeah, iOS 26 is simply not working. So please, our producer, can you get me Tim Cook on the phone? Because this is not working. I need to speak to someone. Okay, guys, let me start on a rock and roll note. And this is not to be chauvinistic, simply to overlay our strengths as a country, as a nation, as a workforce, with all our difficulties and complications, which are widely known around the planet. 1, 2, 3 days before we are recording this episode, AC/DC was here in Argentina. Perhaps, God forbid, for the last time in history. We won't know. The Power Up Tour, okay? You guys were there.
Yes.
I wasn't. How was it?
Your
first
fault.
of all? Yes,
Your
I know.
fault.
I'm sorry.
Your call?
I decided to go to Lollapalooza, and that was
Well,
it.
That's
Yes, I know.
That figures out-
Okay, now, as Tyler, the Creator, would say, mi puto, okay? I am allowed to say that because Tyler, the Creator, said it. So if you're hearing from South Korea or something, just Google what he meant.
Let it flow.
So how was it, guys? Come on.
It was great.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
amazing.
Is it true the temperature was about 33 degrees centigrades?
Yeah.
And there was 82% humidity, but it didn't rain.
No, it did you know? Over 98.
Over 98.
Over 98. Yeah, over 98.
A friend of mine who fainted, and he's old enough to faint, all right? And he woke up at the rescue station and said, it was worth it. He said he saw the vapor of the people coming up. Is that true? You saw that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing is that I wanted to point out, and this is important, and again, it's not to be chauvinistic, is Brian Johnson, is it true that he said once again, Argentina, you are the best audience in the world?
Indeed.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's the point I want to make. With Argentina, with all our flaws, faults, immaturity, difficulty, we've been talking and discussing this all the time, and we try to be very honest with you, our audience around the world. We have so many flaws.
Our metal audience.
Yeah, our metal. Yeah, I don't need rock and roll. Yes, but then again, this is a point. When we focus on one thing, which is like a rock and roll concert, we not only we don't fuck it up, we don't screw it up, but we totally achieve. Because AC/DC has been going around for what? 30 years now, 40 years in the rock and roll scene, more, over 50, right?
Yeah.
Okay. One of them is 71, the other is 79. You really have to achieve this degree of being a great audience, passionate, jumping, sweating, shouting, singing it all, giving it all, etc., to have someone like Brian Johnson and Angus Young say, you guys are the best audience in the world. And my point is exactly that. When we put ourselves with a clear objective and we give it all, we really achieve. And the thing is, we have that potential.
Agree.
Because the same people that were in the audience that day, that night, are the same people that next Monday morning, are going to be in your companies, in the startups, in the IT companies.
Because we live every day as this is the last one.
The last one.
Yes.
Okay. But
Agree.
Exactly. And the same passion you saw on that Saturday night can be extrapolated on the next morning,
agree.
the next Monday, to run your company, to run your startup, to receive your investment, etc. And what is lacking? That was, great audience, great passion, great talent. We know all the lyrics. We can sing it. We can code. We can extract lithium. What is lacking?
Forecast.
Okay,
we live
forecasting.
We live just for today.
Yes.
So there is like Sex Pistols, no future.
Okay,
so we have to change our mind and think more in long terms.
Okay,
Let me put it in an example.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, sure.
I think we are the best firemen in the world.
The best fire department in the world.
Yes.
Okay. But are we also the arsonists?
What do you mean by
Arsonist is the one that lights the matches, puts the kerosene.
No. I think we are the best firemen in the world.
Okay.
But if we need to run an insurance company against fire,
Okay.
we will mess it up. Because as Mati says,
Okay.
our
I
problem
understand.
is the lack of long-term planning.
Okay.
Due to
I get it. I get
many
it.
reasons.
Okay. I will
Okay.
assume 99% are our fault. Let's assume 99%.
In the end, yes.
In the end, it's our fault. The other thing I was thinking is lacking regarding the outside world, and we've been discussing this a lot, and it goes to this general theme of our conversation today, is the lack of an Angus Young and a Brian Johnson in the scenario. Focusing our attention, focusing that passion, giving that passion sense, drive, determination, a clear objective. That night we had an objective to become the best audience in the world, to really rock it out, and then we achieved. But there is no such incentive. And I don't think if there wasn't an Angus Young playing the guitar solo for 30 minutes like he did, which was amazing, that audience wouldn't have worked. It would have been very passionate individual talent. And what I think, and this is the subject where we want to talk about today, is this lack of sometimes outside. It's not that we need someone to come and tell us what to do, but yes, to pose an example. We need to look for the examples in the outside world, and we need the outside world to come and help us with know-how, with new ideas, fresh ideas, and fresh challenges. Because you say we are firemen, right? We love challenges.
Yeah.
Bring us your challenge, your impossible, your complication, and I promise you we'll figure it out.
Agree.
Makes sense? Does it make sense?
It makes sense. I think that as I was saying, we are the best firemen in the world, but the issue is that we will love not to have to be extinguishing fire all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's that's our aim. But it's difficult to get that because we are still every day trying to extinguish the different fires that we have. So for us, I think it could be good if things get more stable and we are able not to think about the fire or how to avoid this fire, these new fires to came.
Okay.
But it's something that it takes time. It's not that easy because there are many things still to solve. But I think that it's a process and it's a pathway to get there.
I love that word, pathway, to get somewhere.
Yeah.
We were speaking in our last episode and we were saying we lack electricity for the mining industry. We lack the roads. That is the pathway. The not the high road, not the highway, the 7-lane Swiss Alps highway. We need a pathway, like Frodo in the Lord of the Rings, finding their way somehow. And that's the subject of today's conversation, which is our advice for mid-sized company.
Okay.
Mid-sized companies from all over the world, which are 85, according to my research, 85% of all companies in the world are mid-sized companies. That's my research, so it could be, the figure could change, who want to invest in Argentina, because at some point we've been speaking a lot about mining, oil, gas, technology. That amounts to usually very large companies. Or we've been talking about tax incentives for over $200 million, but there's a myriad of companies that could be doing business in Argentina despite their size. That is not the big, mega, humongous corporation. So where should we start? If when someone who's listening to us says, okay, I have a mid-sized company, why Argentina for a mid-sized company? And what sectors?
I think that...
Let's start with the yes, and then we'll go to the no.
Okay. I think that currently there are, as you mentioned, there are a lot of opportunities for mid-sized companies on those strategic sectors because it's not necessary to have a huge company, huge investments because maybe it's not your league, but your league is to provide services to those companies. So it's a wider range of opportunities for smaller companies, And I think that the main point is, okay, this brings Argentina for Argentina a lot of opportunities, but it's not, as you mentioned, it's not for all sectors, not for all industries. So if you are SME but you provide services or you have expertise, capabilities for those strategic sectors, you have great opportunities here. But you have to think wise how to incorporate, how to start your business, how to develop business here. It's not that just because Argentina is opening and a lot of the macroeconomics are getting more stable, it's not enough. It's not like you're doing business in your backyard, or you don't have to assume things are the same that in your country. So, but if you plan and establish properly your business, there are a lot of opportunities to develop in those sectors.
Okay, so clue number one, establish if the strategic sectors that Argentina is offering right now is for you. I mean, oil and gas, energy,
agribusiness,
mining, agribusiness, technology, fintech.
Yes, but let me try to. I think I will reshape a little bit what Mati says.
Okay.
You can be a company of those sectors, or maybe you can be a company that provide goods or services to those sectors.
I love it.
So it's like an indirect relationship, but it goes like that. On the other hand, let's speak about sizes, because what do you
size matters
always.
I'm not
always, and depending on what.
What would Michael Scott from The Office say?
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
At this moment, we should be saying also that was he said, because we are gender. We don't judge. We are gender. That's what they said.
Random usage data. That's what she said.
Exactly. That's what she said. Yes.
I have a copy.
Here in Argentina, we say "la dejaste picando," which is in football, soccer for you in America, but the real football, the one that is played with a foot and a ball, the one you hit with the foot. La dejaste picando pretty much means that you left it
bouncing
in the penalty area just for someone to come and make the goal. So you did that to us.
No goalkeeper in the...
Yes, that was, in English you call it a segue, but la dejaste picando. So, okay, that's what she said.
I have a cup at home with...
Yeah, of course, yeah. Of course. Well, I have the one with the world's best boss. I bought this to myself.
So... because what you may think, small companies outside Argentina will vary a lot on what it really will be. And particularly, I don't like to be called small just because vendors tell me I'm small. I'm small for him. I might be small for his revenue against me, but not. I may be
I get it.
Big enough to have a solid business in Argentina. So
size is relative. That's important.
Yes.
And may I add something? It's also relative to the country. I mean, to us, a large company in the United States is mid-size. Definitely.
Yes.
All right. So
yes. A large company.
I assume in China also.
A large company in United States, it's a
very large
company in Argentina.
Yes, exactly.
And a medium company in USA would be a large company in Argentina.
So the second would be size does matter, but it's not an impediment.
Of course.
Okay, good. What are now? There's one another I would like to point, and Mati was going in that way also. Identifying what's your size. Okay. Don't take it for granted if someone tells you are big or small, etc. Depends on the sector you're in. So it's very relative, especially in Argentina, a fast-moving economy like ours, so fast-growing and fast-changing. And there was another thing you were pointing out, that is to identify the locality, the localism, right? The name. Don't assume it's, you said, a quote, don't assume it's exactly the same as your country, which is pretty obvious, but at some point there's somebody...
Not as obvious as you could imagine.
Okay,
because that happens a lot.
Does it?
A lot. Okay. And it's...
Sorry. Let's say out of 10 cases, how many do you think?
11?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a fucking lot.
No, but that's something that happens a lot. That things that things are the same, that or runs the same as. But and when you're in Rome, do as the Romans do.
Do as the
Yeah.
Romans.
So
Rome, like
it's not that it's Argentina is not an easy country to develop business because there's a lot of bureaucracy, and even though it's getting easier to establish a company, there are still a lot of restrictions for foreign commerce, and mainly because of our taxes. We have more than 160 something taxes, different taxes
160.
over that. Yeah, because if you think
Nationwide or local wide?
no, nationwide. If you think about national taxes, municipal, provinces, withholding regimes, collection regimes, and
Let me do a very small time out there, just for all of you that don't know how Argentina is organized.
Yeah.
Argentina is a federal republic, pretty much like the United States. It's not unitarian. It's not governed in the capital city of Buenos Aires. It's federal. So you have the country divided in 24 provinces, and those provinces are divided in what you would call counties, we call municipios, municipalities. And those municipalities are huge in territory, and pretty much every province has about 10 to 20 average, I would say an average of 15 municipalities. And every municipality has different, then depends on which side, different regulations. Okay, so that's why there's such a stack. Nevertheless, 160 is a lot, because in the US it's exactly the same division of the country, and you have how many? I don't know.
No, I don't know, but Argentina is one of the.
Thank you. So that was
together with Brazil is one of the worst.
And Brazil is worst. Yeah.
Brazil is even worse than us, but it's one of the worst countries for business, for tax planning, because it's a mess. But also it's not that it's impossible to do business. It's just you have to think about those issues and plan, and it's also depending on what kind of business you are going to establish, you are going to run. You have to choose properly where to locate your company. It's not the same if you locate in Buenos Aires city than in Buenos Aires province, which is just divided by a road, an avenue. But it's another jurisdiction, so taxes change for different sectors. And so it depends also in the kind of business you are going to run, because if for example, if you are going to establish in a specific province, you could have tax incentives for that kind of business, and not in another one. So that's something that needs to be planned in advance. Need to think a lot about taxes, because you can not even breathe here if you not think about the tax effect on that. So it's important, and get right advice on that. To get the proper advice. It's something that if you are going to establish your business, or your business is related to a specific sector, find someone with expertise on that sector, because in our case, and it's something that happens in other countries too, but it's not in general in around the world. Taxes vary a lot from one sector to another, and compliance, a lot of things. So it's important, if you're going to run a business, to find someone with expertise in your sector. That's very important for your planning.
Okay, so one thing that is important to point out is doing business with this level of taxation and different taxation, etc., is pretty much like driving or moving a ship through the Suez Canal, I understand, or flying an Airbus 380 with 700 people from, I don't know, Milan to Sydney, right? I mean, it's complicated. It's somehow risky at some point, but with the right skill set,
it's doable.
It's doable. Thank you very much. You can do it. So what would be the right
it's profitable also.
Yeah, of course. That's
it's
what
profitable.
People do.
It's
exactly.
Just,
that's why people take the risk.
Yeah, you have to plan that
for
properly.
charity, you have the church.
Yes, the volunteer fire brigade.
Yeah. That also.
If you plan and properly your business, your taxes, your cash flow, your location, your business will be profitable. Of course, you have to choose a specific sector that are growing. It's currently the situation is not for everyone, but for some business, Argentina is getting very profitable, because we have huge resources and opportunities. So, but you just have to think about your plan and properly.
And actually, you are far away of where the conflicts are running nowadays. That's something
Yeah, it's
maybe.
important, yeah.
Far away from the conflict in the Middle East, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a very uncommon moment where we have all the things the world wants, and you are far away from where the conflicts are. So the problem, not the problem, but the challenge is to take the opportunity.
Yeah, at some point, what used to be, I have this feeling, and in fact, we're recording this on, this is today, I get lost, April the 7th. So today is the deadline that President Trump, when you hear this, we'll know whatever.
The third.
Yes, what happened, yes.
The third.
Yes, and what happened, let's hope nothing.
Yeah.
So what you'll see is in the future, what we're thinking about long term in the future, let's hope nothing happens, nothing worse, because it's already bad. But at some point, like 2, 3, 4 years ago, before the Iran conflict, and in fact the Russia-Ukraine conflict, which is saddening and etc., the challenges in Argentina seem to be unsurmountable. Like there was no point. Yeah. And all of a sudden, given this chaos around the world, the ripples of which will be felt, even if those conflicts ended up today drastically, the ripple effect will last for like 5 or maybe 10 years. This is not me. This was Ian Brenner from G0 Media, Eurasia Group, speaking about this. So this is me quoting Mr. Brenner, whom I don't know. I heard him in a podcast. I wish I knew him. The ripple effect will be felt for 10 years. So for the next 5 to 10 years, those downsides from Argentina and perhaps even the rest of Latin America are not that huge and are not that unsurmountable.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if I were, again, I try to put myself on the shoes of an investor who also has great places in which to invest, like, I don't know, our friends and colleagues in the wonderful Australia. You have Germany, you have the European Union, you have the United States of America, you have China. Why Argentina? What is, and I'm not asking this in, why should I do this? Why is there so many people that are interested in Argentina right now? Okay, the geopolitical situation, the economic emergence, the changes in the rule, there's the potential, we've spoken about the natural resources, but there must be something else. What do you guys think that is making Argentina attractive in this moment? Let's be honest, and let's see the upside and the downside.
No, well, on one hand, as I mentioned before, you have food, you have energy, you have knowledge, you have
pretty much good climate,
rare earths.
But those are strategic resources.
Yes.
In different kinds, but in strategic resources, and certainly quite a safe place to establish a company, to live and to do business. It's so that makes Argentina attractive for investors. And also we have those resources, but we have a lot of unexploited resources.
Yeah.
So it's not just we are getting that are reducing. We still have a lot of potential because there are a lot of minerals and oil and gas to and so there are many things to do and a lot of infrastructure to develop. So there are a lot of opportunities. It's not in other places. Maybe the market or the different industries are more mature. Yeah. So it's more difficult to scale from there.
Okay.
In our case. Unfortunately, but also luckily, there are a lot of things to do.
Well,
so
I think
we have, or the investors could have huge potential because they can scale their business easily.
Well, that's one of the points, things I wanted to point out. That is, going back to mid-sized companies. For Argentina, the situation is so raw. The countryside is like raw material.
Yeah.
And that for many countries and many companies, And even mid-sized companies, even small companies, what needs to be done is so obvious and at some point so easy. They have the know-how so developed for so many years that is at some point they think about this like when you're 50-something, 40-something, and you want to teach your 5-year-old niece or son or grandson or whatever, 2 times 3 makes 6. And to you, it's so second nature, it's so obvious, and to the other person, is like started that. I'm not comparing Argentina to a 5-year-old child. Please bear with me on this. It's like if you're a small company, you have a huge amount of know-how that can be applied to a country that at some point is so raw in its infrastructure development, even talent development. And one of the things I wanted to take from our previous episode, if you haven't heard it, please hear it out, or if you can, take the time, because we speak about the roads and the electricity. But I kept thinking when we finish it up, what happens with these roads and electricity in terms of talent development, talent management, creativity, because Argentina has, again, this AC/DC rock and roll like atmosphere, but that is raw passion. And then you need management, you need orders, you need sequence, you need to put that in a steam engine that makes it roll. Make sense?
Yes.
And if you're a mid-sized company, that's a very huge opportunity for you.
Yes, but.
And this is a very big but.
No.
At least mine.
No. Also mine. No. What happens, or what I think it happens to us, we have been going through dramatical changes that our anxiety didn't allow us to plan for.
Anxiety.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want, I invest the money now, I want the return now.
Okay.
And we're running a business in any country of the world. It takes time, as Mati said. So, what I think happens in terms of creating a new business or investing in a new business is that you have to be calm enough to have a normal profitability of each business. That it may be how much? 5 to 15, 20% a year. Unless I am
each
wrong,
year, 20% each year sounds like a lot to me. Sounds like I don't know which business you're thinking about. Honestly,
but it's a normal margin.
Let's
say it's a normal margin. Okay.
And I think that also it's because our pendular government that we had. So
of course.
If he mentioned that I want to invest and get the money now, I want it all, I want it now. But I think that the problem is that you, as we mentioned, it's difficult to forecast and to know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yes.
So if our think it's about having no future and things that are going to change suddenly, and so that's the main problem. So when you are thinking about an investment, it's difficult if you cannot forecast and have some certainty on your business to plan your business on 5, 10, 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
I think that maybe the good scenario now for Argentina, even though we are still suffering we have this threat of these issues, because we don't certainly know 100% that we are not going to have these pendular situations anymore. It's something that we don't know. We cannot assure that. But I think that the good point or the good news on those kind of sectors that we are thinking about, that is mining, oil and gas, and agribusiness, that you can plan your business in thinking in more long terms. It's not like technology. You cannot think your business for technology in 20 years.
Yes,
but if you are going to invest in mining or in oil and gas, you have to think definitely in at least in 10 or 15 years. So so when you are thinking about that, you know, also in Argentina, perhaps in other countries, but in Argentina mainly, that you will have to change your plans maybe 100 times, and you need
Yes.
to be ready to adapt to that.
Yes, and scenario planning, I think it's another thing that we lack. Or in other ways, let me say we are over planning or over scenario planning.
How would that work? I mean, so it's totally at some point schizophrenic. Or,
agree.
With the careful use of the word, but like sounds like schizophrenic dialogue to me. If you don't plan, we don't plan for tomorrow, and then we over plan for. So how does that work?
Okay.
Explain to me that if I was
okay.
not an Argentino, I was the ambassador from Mars.
Okay. Okay. I will try to speak from my own examples.
Okay.
You have a plan that is that you create according to what the main advisors in terms of foreign exchange and inflation can advise.
Okay.
You have one plan there.
Yeah.
But you have the plan that you may have money restrictions. Then you have your second plan.
Okay.
Then you have the problem if your main resource varies in price. So you have the third plan,
Okay. The C plan.
the C plan.
Okay.
And then someone in the world tries to bomb another country. You have your fourth plan.
Okay.
And the problem is those plans may not talk to each other. So you continue bumping into plans, but in the end you have no horizon. You are moving in this direction, like the Artemis. I think I go in there, but I have to correct my way all the time.
All the time.
And that's one thing that may happen. So when you find yourself over planning, you forget about your day-to-day activities. So you dump the plans
Okay.
and you running as it can.
So when you don't have what you mean is when you don't have a route, you have to keep planning all the time. Let's go back again to the metaphor of the Airbus A380,
Yeah.
full of passengers crossing the Atlantic. And if you have a route and you say, I'm going Buenos Aires, Frankfurt, well, you have direction, correction
but
all
you're
the
going to
time.
Frankfurt.
But you know which way you're going. What you're saying is we have to plan a route to Frankfurt, to Scotland, to
No,
Johannesburg,
the road
to Lagos,
is always to Frankfurt, but you have you need to have different ways to get to Frankfurt.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I mean. You
It's
have
a-
different corrections, but what I guess is Edu is saying is that at some point we have to plan, like if we were going to Frankfurt, to Dakar, to Lagos, Nigeria, to
you know where
Johannesburg.
you want to go. But you perhaps you are going to change your way many times.
Many times along the year.
Okay, so it's an over planning scenario.
Yeah,
Yes.
but I think that the main point is it's not just over. It's you have to be ready to change and adapt your plan.
That's the point.
That's a capability you definitely need to do business here. To adapt. If you have a plan that is too strict and it's too hard to move, and you are too committed to that plan, and you are not going to move even a little from that plan, you are going to fail because
And you
something
spend
will
your whole
happen.
day giving explanation on why you failed.
Yes, and you cannot say, well, the world changed.
Yeah,
it didn't
okay.
rotate left to right, it rotated left, but it has happened. Because also the world is totally changing.
Argentina, it's a country where there is no fact with zero chances to happen. So
Yeah.
you have to be ready for something to happen. It's not, there is nothing that you cannot say this is impossible to happen. Nothing
No,
here
because
is impossible to
because
happen.
it happened.
That could happen. It's the Murphy law.
The good
The Murphy law
and the
odds.
bad and the bad.
Yeah.
Okay, the splendid and the vile. Okay, so again, I put myself in the shoes of an investor from a pretty orderly country, pretty much orderly or something
Yeah.
like that, organized. And you say, okay, the investment in Argentina is worth it because the upside is great and amazing, etc., etc., etc. And there's the talent to be tapped and to be organized, etc. Okay, what do I do? Let's assume I want to invest in Argentina. What is the first step? The first, you said, identify the strategic areas.
Yeah.
Right? In which you work, or if you're a vendor or whatever, in which you can serve in some way. I mean, let's put an example. You're in consulting. Well, okay, how can you do consulting for firms which are in oil and gas exploitation? The second would be go local, right?
Yeah.
Go local. Have a local partner. Don't be, the word is not very nice, so please don't get offended, but don't use this colonialist 19th century mindset that at some point we all have, in which we want to extrapolate what we do here to what people do there, because it doesn't work.
Yeah.
That we understand the nuances of each part of the country. That is very
Cultural issues.
cultural issues. Thank you very much. That would
And
be
regulations.
regulations. I would even add climate. Argentina has very different climates. I mean,
Yeah.
Argentina is a country, for all of you that don't know, and this happened to me. I was in November, the month of November. It was not even the summer. I was in my sister country club house in the pool. It was 33 degrees centigrade. We took a plane the next morning. We arrived in the Patagonia, 2-hour flight. That's a 2-hour flight. I jumped on a pool, a heated pool, with a beautiful view of the Andes, and it was snowing. -3 degrees, snowing.
Pato.
On the
Pato.
12-hour difference. Do you understand what I'm meaning
Pato.
about climate in Argentina?
Pato, I was in my pool on Friday afternoon with 32 degrees.
33, yes, and now it's freezing
And
cold.
today it's cold.
Well, okay, but
Today.
what I mean is exactly
Come on.
that. So Argentina has this huge amount of large territory. The climate can vary a lot. The culture can vary a lot. So the fourth will be adapt. What is the next step? Okay, let's assume those basics I have. I have one that I want to discuss
can
with
I-
you. And yeah, sure, go ahead.
Find a trusted financial advisor.
Trusted financial advisor.
Yes.
Okay.
Because otherwise it will be hard for you to understand the changes in our economy.
Time out. Sorry. Financial only or financial, legal, compliance, and bureaucrat?
The whole combo.
The whole combo. Someone
The
who
whole
knows
combo.
the
But-
bloody red tape. I mean, how do you
in
do
the
in
end,
bureaucracy?
The laws are they are not changing so much. The economy varies a lot, and it's not easy, especially for countries that are really stable, to understand our
and
changes.
there are a lot of different situations you will have to deal that ChatGPT is not going to explain you.
Of course.
Because no, this is
Great.
this
Even
is
if we prompt it right, like, think like a financial advisor in Argentina.
that
Wow.
happens to some
It melts.
investors or that are starting to say, no, I asked that to ChatGPT and said, okay, but ChatGPT is not going to deal with the
is not
functionaries
Silicon
here.
Valley,
So please listen to me that what is ChatGPT is saying is not the correct answer, maybe.
Yeah.
So and also if you don't plan on advance, not only taxes, transfer pricing, withholdings, a lot of things that could happen, but also how you are going to deal with commerce restriction, foreign commerce restrictions, payments, how cash flows cross border.
Yeah.
That could be a huge pain point for your business if you don't plan that. It's not that you cannot solve those issues, because all those issues can be solved, but you need to plan that in advance. And also, as Eduardo said, you need different plan A, B, C, or how to solve those issues, because if you are committed to a payment or for a contract and you cannot pay, and you are not going to comply with the contract, you could lose your business. So it's important to have different plans to be able to comply with your contract, your agreement, your vendor, or whatever.
And in terms of mind blowing of our economy, a simple example: Argentina might be the only country in the whole world where you buy your shoes in installments and your house cash.
Cash, yes. Well, okay. We love to be special.
Yeah,
But that is a very special
and that's
thing.
it's very particular of our own. So if you don't understand that thing, you may ruin your business, as Mati said.
And why is that happening? Let me double click on that. Why is that happening? I have the answer, my answer, not the answer, my answer. There's no credit.
Yes,
There's no credit.
There's
But-
credit for consumption, for
Yes.
goods,
Well,
but
okay,
not
thank you very
credit
much.
for
Yes,
huge
thank you very much.
investment.
Not huge investment. That's what I meant.
But
I mean, like credit
yeah,
for
but
bank
that's,
houses
and the weight of the informal economy is also so big
too big.
that also
And that is the opportunity for whom, for example, because you are not a mining company. Let's assume
No,
you're not a mining
no,
company. Let's assume
no.
you're not, let me name brands just as an example. You're not Google, you're not British Petroleum, okay? you're a mid-sized company, etc.
No.
Who would profit from that? Who could come and offer, I don't know, credit, financial planning, for etc., etc., etc.? I'm thinking fintech. I'm thinking
Yeah,
small banks.
Yes.
Let me name a brand just as an example. TDI Bank, Farmers Bank
Yes,
in the United States. Maybe-
that could be, but it's not happen so often because there is difficult also for SMEs to get those kind of
Again,
loans.
it's difficult
credits.
but doable.
Yes, but it's not easy. So it's something that also need to be think in advance, because if you need to manage your working capital, it's something that maybe you have to think in advance. So if you are going to establish your business, perhaps you will need to loan from the investor will need to invest to get some cash in the company, because it's not that you just create the company, go to the bank and ask for them for credit. I could have that could happen in many countries, but not here. So when you are going to ask the bank for money, they will require so many things that it will be very difficult for you to comply with that. So because they lend you money when you don't need the money, mainly. So it's something that you have to plan that and get your own loans from the foreign country, from the investor, to manage your working capital to run your business. And something also that, of course, there will be very good for the economy if there is more credit, but unfortunately it's not happening.
Jumping into my area, if you are a mid-sized company that, let's say, provides services for Europe because you are located in Europe or even Asia, you can develop your local operation here and have like we call a follow the sun activity, and you have 24/7 operation
24/7, yeah.
just because you are located in the other side of the planet. And you can serve a lot of countries that you might not probably be serving today.
And then-
Unbalanced knowledge, unbalanced profit.
And that's where something that I wanted to bring, you're segueing for me, what I wanted to bring into the equation that is complicated. It's not that powerful now, but it's also complicated, is the power of the unions. I know unions, workers' unions are powerful in mostly every country in the world. I mean, you don't want to mess with the US truckers, for example, like the Teamsters or whatever.
Yeah.
But here in Argentina, banks open from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Yeah.
In the United States, banks are open 24/7, Monday to Monday, every day, 30. And I've seen this, and I've done transactions.
You have
Yes,
branch opens.
Branch open. I used a branch in New York City on January 24th
Yeah.
at about 7 p.m.
Okay.
There was someone there. I know perhaps they're closing for a little tiny bit,
Okay.
etc., etc. But and that is
They open for you.
yeah, of course, yes. I had to I had to put a check, and I had this huge bag of tokens which I put in this amazing machine, and gave me $1.
You're a family of a
Yes.
fashion designer. That's why.
That's famous, very famous.
Famous.
Yes, he rest Madonna. My uncle Roberto. May he rest in peace. Yes, I went to a party. I told you.
We know
Yes,
that.
yes,
We
I
know that.
exactly. That strange schedule, 10 to 3 p.m. That's a unions thing. That's the union. They would tell us that no, because it's about the security and they have to do all the clearance, etc., etc. But we know this not to be true. And one of the things that you need to take into account in Argentina is that right now the rules of the game are changing, the laws are changing. There is a new labor law that allows people to work more freely, and also without less quote unquote protection from the laws, the government in terms of severance, etc., etc. But that's making hiring easier and workers owners
just a
relationship
small
easier.
correction. Don't think that the banking people here work from 10 to 5. They work from 9 to 6, as everyone knows.
Yeah, of course. What I mean is the bank is open to the public.
Strictly, the schedule for banking industry is 9:45 to 5:15.
Yeah, no, what I
That's
mean is the bank
schedule.
branch is open to
10
the
to
public.
5. 10 to 3.
10 to 3. And it could be perfectly open from 7 to None. If you
Yeah,
want to
use the home banking.
Yes. Okay. Well, it's okay. But at some point you have to go
Yes, more up
and
to
you have
date.
to talk to a real person in order to get your credit or
Your credit
I don't know,
card.
credit card or
Your
whatever. Except
credit
that
card.
is true. That's why at some point you want to. If you're a foreign investor, you want to speak to someone. It's
Yeah.
not enough to make even a meet call. You want to meet with the branch owner. You want to know, especially in the interior of the country. We are here in the capital city, a huge metropolis of 5 million people, pretty much like New York City or Los Angeles and etc. But in the interior of the country, people go to the bank and they speak to the branch manager. The branch manager knows them and knows their problems. If they have family issues, if they have this and that, and the owner of the company goes and speaks and extends the lines of credit, helps him out, finds some. That's what banks are supposed to do. So I see there an opportunity.
Yeah.
I see there an opportunity. So it's not only about I'm an oil and gas research company. I'm a bank. Or I'm a financier. I represent capital. And there's another issue I wanted to bring to the table, and this is perhaps our last issue because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
When I'm doing this is I'm trying to watch the. But
It's time for a rapid fire.
You can have the watch in here, so you
I
have
should.
to, like this.
I should.
Yes. So, with talent management, let's go back to the AC/DC concert.
Yeah.
85,000 people in the stadium, including my two colleagues here and including my friend who fainted at Papillon. That's what we call Papillon, when someone makes a spectacle out of themselves, and a bad spectacle out of themselves. But somebody, again, Angus and Brian, gave that raw material sense direction.
Okay.
That is talent management. Argentina has a lot of talent, be it in technology, be it in research, be it in industry, engineering, and also in the performing arts and the creative industries like advertising, media, etc.
Okay.
What about all these great, amazing talent management and consulting companies? I'm not talking about the big four. I'm not talking about them.
No.
That know a lot about the right now world, this fast-pacing, ever-changing, revolutionary world in which talent is not managed the same. It's difficult to manage.
Yeah.
It's like herding cats at some point. Do you see an opening for these companies? Is there anything that can be done? If you're a talent management company, for example,
Yeah, of course, there is a lot of things. Yeah.
and what could you do? How would you operate? Or is it the same manual?
No, I think
No.
it's maybe it's in essence it's the same the way you have to operate, but of course it's when you have a lot of talent, you have to deal with that. It's not like it's not like dealing with resources like mining. You can extract the minerals, or it's you have to find the way to make them to work as a team, not just as huge with individual with huge potential.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's maybe it's not that easy, but it's I think that in essence, if you're going to establish a company to that here, also the basics are the same. You're
Okay,
going
that,
to
the, basic,
deal with
the fundamentals are the same.
Yeah.
Okay, before we go to the rapid fire, Mati, you had a list of do's and don'ts,
don'ts.
right?
No, I think that
Well, we pretty much covered it.
we cover those mainly. Do not try to run your business here remotely. Another thing that you need to come here, because sometimes at least to see what's happening and to talk with the people, it's very important. And get good advice. Identify the sector, plan in advance.
Yeah.
Be ready to adapt, and don't think that anything is like in your country. No, not even your ERP.
No.
You need to understand that it's not better or worse. It's different.
not a cut and paste way of
strategy.
dealing.
Okay.
No, it's not it.
Okay.
Some may be, some might not. And maybe they are not. As I think what Napoleon said, the map is not the territory.
Correct. That was Napoleon. But it's coded to CDS because eventually every comes to CDS. But we don't know. Yes.
But the map is not the territory.
Yes,
so
amazing quote. Yeah. Amazing. Thank you very much. Well, we'll close with that. We'll close with Napoleon, which is wow. Okay, and we go to a rapid fire. I have the first question for you. But,
Okay.
But I want you to answer at the same time. So I'm going to count to 3, 1, 2, 3, and you have to give me the answer in the same time.
Okay.
AC/DC in Argentina, Buenos Aires, March 2026. Which was the best performed song? 1, 2, 3.
Hellbells.
No, sorry.
Okay.
No, I am Highway to Hell.
Okay. Well, that was not fair question.
My proposal was let's keep it into ACDCs.
Let's keep it in AC/DC.
Okay. Malcolm Young or Angus Young?
No, Angus Young.
Why?
Because AC/DC is not going to be AC/DC without Angus Young.
Same question for you.
I think I'll go with Angus Young. I think that I have a personal relationship with him. In fact, when I couldn't get the tickets, she posted him on Instagram.
But I can ask
he was
you,
very worried.
I can ask you another one which is more tricky. Brian Johnson or Bon Scott?
Bon Scott.
Ooh.
Bon Scott, definitely.
So why Hellbells? Why Hellbells and not Back in Black?
Because Back in Black was performed, I think, second or third song, and mixed up with the previous one. Hellbells had a different performance with the bell hanging down.
That's amazing.
And in the end, it's my favorite.
It's the same old trick. Yes. And it's the same old trick, and it works every single fucking time. Yes. It's amazing. Yes. They're gonna keep doing it, and it's gonna keep working.
Of course, it's a show that is all well set up and established. So they have the end with for those about to rock. We salute you. Which is also prepared, but everything works perfectly. So even though you know what's going to happen, it's perfect anyway.
For you,
yes.
Highway to Hell or TNT?
Highway to Hell. Every single time.
Okay.
Every single time. Yes.
Okay.
I'm on a highway to hell. Why? Because I'm on a highway to hell means so many things. It could be great, it could be a disaster. You could truly be in the highway to hell or going through a huge California fire, like this man. You know the video. There was this guy escaping from the Palisades fire in 2024, 2025, and he was in the middle of a forest fire, and he had the idea of putting a CD player with Highway to Hell, and he was recording himself and said, well, at least if I die, I'll die with great music according to the situation.
But on the other hand...
And on the other hand, you're meeting your date with Dua Lipa at long
last. He has to mention Dua Lipa or Taylor Swift
I have a quote from Neil deGrasse Tyson about Taylor Swift, but I'm going to take it the other way on our next episode. Tune in next episode for Taylor Swift. That's also Highway to Hell. That's a great highway to hell. That's the way, that's where you want to go.
On the other hand, I'm a power slow, watch me explode.
Exactly so.
Who made who? Or Steve Aberlip?
No, who made who?
Okay.
Yeah, who made who?
Okay. Who? It's also who made who plus the movie.
I think
and the ball drummer.
I think there are anthems. I think AC/DC has anthems.
All
of the songs are anthems. I know, but there's major and minor anthems. But Who Made Who is pretty much like an anthem for a generation. I remember when I heard AC/DC for the first time. I was 12 years old.
Yeah.
And I was told it was diabolical, satanical, etc., etc. So I was afraid.
Like Kiss.
Like Kiss, yes. And
stepping
on little pigeons, yes. And I was afraid. I was psychologically disturbed and afraid to go and listen to AC/DC. And it was like initiation ritual, a passage of initiation. And I was 12 years old. I listened to it in a Wincophone. It was the early 80s. Mid 80s, in a water closet in the house of a friend of mine who was a girlfriend, a girl who was a friend on a party. That is now that house is pretty close to my place, to where I live.
Okay.
And every time I bring my kids to the school, I pass through that house, and I remember me hiding in that bathroom to hear for the first time.
Winco.
I don't know what it was on the Winco phone that you plug it in, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that is what I think what this group, this band represents to us all.
Let me finish with a story, personal story.
Okay, go ahead.
Once in my lifetime,
Okay.
working in a big American, European company,
We don't want to know what you did there.
tobacco industry.
Okay.
We are in a
God forbid you work for someone who is good at some time in your career. It
And,
could happen.
and we went to another country from different countries to a leadership meeting, a leadership development meeting. And you have to bring a song to present yourself. So the first one put Vivaldi.
You put the
because,
trooper.
No, I put Hellbells.
Hellbells. Wow.
Because I like Hellbells. I
that's
am
a
the
statement.
disruptive one. The problem was, and why you choose this song?
That was a nobody should ask.
So I had to make up a story right away. So I gave back to my
Childhood.
no.
But you
To
made
my
it up,
random useless data.
But it was a true story, or you had to make it
Again,
up out of smoke?
No, it's
You
a true
had to
story.
invent it.
I had to create a story on why this song was.
Because it's a very
taken
stupid
to this-
question. Why is that? Because I like it.
No,
That's all.
because why did you
Just
choose
a
for this special event?
Okay.
So I had to go back to my random uses data and say, because I don't know if you know the story of the song. This song is the first song of Back in Black. And Back in Black is the album that AC/DC had to produce when they lose their leader. And they had to make a change because they have changed their leader. And they have to run a new one. And it turned out to be with this song that they break it up. The whole audience stood up.
Exploded.
Fuck Vivaldi.
Okay.
So
That's amazing.
that's all I had to do in that workshop.
That's all, you conquered everybody.
That's enough.
That's
Okay.
it.
Yes.
That's
okay.
it.
Okay.
So that's how AC/DC
What it
helped
means
me
to
out
us. Yes.
in the leadership meeting.
It means to us. Okay, guys. So let's wrap it up. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching us. If you need help, what I would say is to finding the trusted advisor. You can call us, of course, but also trust your embassies. We have a lot of connection with the Spanish, with the British, with the German, with the French, the Chinese now embassies in Buenos Aires. They're really doing a great work. You can work with us or with someone else. That's fine. We're here to help you out, to advise, not to hard sell you. Trust your diplomats. Okay.
Yeah, and another recommendation on that way is also to get involved in the community of your business, to get involved with your different trade bodies, association of your own business, to be one of a team with your colleague and not become the foreign competitor. It's important to be part of the community, to understand, and they are going to give you support and advice on how they have dealt with different issues that they have already experienced, and not be seen as the guy that is going to take our work.
Okay. Well, if you want to write to us, it's hello@Finance Rockstars. That is financerockstars.net. You can write to us, and we are
Matías Tejero.
Eduardo Martínez.
Patricio Cavalli, and we are produced by our rockstar producer Ignacio Herbojo from Caja Mágica Studio here in Saavedra neighborhood in Buenos Aires. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening, and long live rock and roll. Bye.